Things First is sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
The highlight for his career.
No.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to First Things First. We are discussing whether or not.
That's still a highlight.
It's
not a highlight if it don't count.
If it's on a highlight reel, it's on a highlight reel with no sound.
It made
That's interesting. Ask him if he wants that to be his
First thing he'll say is, yes, a good play, but it didn't count, so it don't matter. Terrible call.
Count to me. Good morning, brother.
Good morning.
Hi, Stack.
It is great.
Stack's fired up.
I'll make a play like that.
Yeah.
I got to get that. That's one of the best plays this year. And it's not going through because of a bad call. I'm sick this morning.
Well, now I'm nervous that we're going to show it a little bit later.
Take the baseball players off the court.
Highlight. We have a tremendous show for you today. We got a lot to get to. So the ball is reportedly in Tom Brady's court now as free agency looms. LeBron's MVP push is officially on now that Giannis is out. And until they figure things out with the Nets, there's no sleep till Brooklyn.
Nice.
Here is why. That's just for you, Steven. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving have combined to play just 20 games in their first season with the Nets. That is 0 for Kevin Durant and 20 of 63 games for Kyrie Irving. And yet, that's all they needed to make a decision on their head coach. According to a report, both had concerns on whether Kenny Atkinson could lead them to a title. Nick, there's sort of a lot here with this team. What was your reaction to hearing this?
Well, it's very interesting. You go back and you read the quotes from Kevin and from Kyrie about why they picked Brooklyn. And Kevin Durant said he spent hours studying Sean Marks and the sets that they ran. You had DeAndre Jordan say he talked to Jared Dudley about how they do the things the right way there. They talked about culture. They talked about what Kenny Atkinson was building, and of course that was all nonsense. It was a cool city with cap space where they could all come play together, where Kyrie's from, that is in a major market, and so that's why they came here. And the culture becomes what your superstars want it to be. And Kenny Atkinson knew this was going to be a problem. In that same Jackie McMullen article, he was asked, how do you convince these all-stars? Because Kyrie and KD, not only are they unique talents, they are unique personalities, particularly Steven's good friend Kyrie, and KD as well has been through his own ups and downs as far as the way he has evolved into his NBA superstardom. And Kenny Atkinson said, very good question. That's what lies ahead. And what lied ahead for Kenny Atkinson was 63 games where he really didn't ever have a fair shot at it, to where the writing was so clearly on the wall that he said, guys, you're firing me after the year. Just put me out of my misery now. And so I'm not sitting here saying it's the wrong thing. I understand we have a lot of examples of stars saying this coach isn't going to be right for me. Give me someone else, and they have been right. We also have an example of a star in LeBron James saying this coach isn't going to be right for me, and Pat Riley said, yes, he is. His name's Eric Spoelstra. Trust me on it. And Spoelstra right now is one of the 5 best coaches in basketball, and they won a couple championships. So the grass always appears to be greener. I'm curious what the greener grass actually is, but this was a long time coming, even if Kenny Atkinson didn't deserve it.
Well, with Spoelstra, that's different. Spoelstra is from that culture. He didn't just get a head coaching job. He was on the sideline for a while.
Video guy, all of it.
He had been in the organization for a while, so he paid his dues. I think with this situation it's different because when you talk about the Nets culture comes from Jay-Z. He brought all the fans back to Brooklyn. Let's start there. The coach had nothing to do with the culture there. Second, they're not coming to see this coach. I think at this point, KD and Kyrie know where this team need to go better than the coach, because they're going to be a bigger part than him. I don't think he was put in a situation where he's not getting a fair shot. I think he knew that this was a situation you're coming into where we were starting over with KD and Kyrie. You might not be here long term. So let's see what you can do now. We're not even having KD this year. He kind of knew what situation he was in. I would be naive to say he was blind to the fact that he wouldn't make it through this year at the beginning of this season. He knew that this team KD wasn't going to be there, and this team was going to have a bad year. So I think this was all planned. I just think it happened a little sooner than possible, than it was supposed to happen.
Stack, in your career, the first time you met a coach, could you tell, not my guy? Or have you had an evolution where, you know what?
Yeah.
I learned.
My first year. I started my first year in New Jersey, the Nets. We were in Sea Caucus at the time. And I was leading the rookies in scoring first half of the season. Played the rookie All-Star game. Came back, didn't play. Not one game. Right after All-Star, didn't play, didn't start nothing. And it was Byron Scott because we had odds at the beginning of the season because Stephon Marbury, Kenyon Martin was the #1 draft pick. They wanted me to play. And when he started me, he felt like the players had more pull than him. So when we came back from All-Star break, he didn't play me at all the rest of the season. Yeah, so coaches can do things like that, but it didn't hurt me because I already played well the first half of the season.
But sometimes, though, and listen, it seems like Kenny Atkinson has a ton of friends in the media. I'm not one of them. I don't know him at all. So, like, I'm not saying I dislike the guy, but I've never spoken a word to Kenny Atkinson. So this is coming from an unbiased place. Sometimes, though, a coach does know better. And guess what? Jared Allen should be starting over DeAndre Jordan. And that is purely a relationship thing. KD and Kyrie said, we're a big three, even though DeAndre Jordan is not anywhere at this point in his career near the caliber of ball player. Kevin Durant's one of the greatest players we've ever seen. Kyrie Irving's one of the most unique talents we've ever seen. DeAndre Jordan was a really good center who's now on the downside at 31 years old. The 21-year-old should be playing. But these guys wanted DeAndre Jordan to play, and Kenny Atkinson's gone. The first game DeAndre Jordan starts. That's not about knowing basketball. That's about getting your way. And that is the way the modern NBA works, and that's fine. But this idea that Kevin Durant or Kyrie have solved what is a championship formula, I just don't know that I buy it. KD is a great player, such a great player. The biggest part of a championship formula is get Kevin Durant on your team and things will typically work out. Kyrie has only won ever alongside LeBron, so I don't know that these are guys that you can say, hey, just give you the keys to the kingdom and you guys will lead us to figure it out for us.
So can I follow that up with this question? As far as Kyrie is concerned, is his superstar reputation almost bigger than what his actual production has been, both because of his health and because of what he's been able to do? You saw what he did in Boston and now in Brooklyn?
Well, you can't diminish his play in his career because of injury. That's not predicted. You can't predict that. I mean, you can't use that. But at the same time, he has won a championship. He's a proven player. He's a proven all-star. He's top 5 point guard in this league. Injury or not, he's still top 5. And with KD, I think, to touch on your point, with DJ, they see the big picture. It's going to be hard for, and I have to say this, people that don't play the game to not see the big picture. They know that at the end of the game, if they do make the playoffs next year and they beat the team that they plan on being, it's going to be KD, Kyrie, and DJ in the game. I'm just sorry. It might be the young player that needs to play now, but what makes sense and what's going down the line, DJ would be in the game. The kid's not a better player. He might be younger with more energy, but knowledge-wise, DJ's a better player.
All right. Look, I don't know how you spent your Monday night. I was busy at home compiling the best of the best.
Stack. Go Stack.
What I do, starting with the best waved off poster of the night, Jamal Murray dunking all over DJ Wilson. It is called an offensive foul, and you know who was really bothered by this one? Steven Jackson.
You know, Stack, the more I watch it, I think it's a good call.
I do too.
I mean, it's an elbow, he pushes off. I don't know,
that's a natural movement. When you jump to dunk, where your hand's supposed to be?
I don't know. Not an elbow. Not an elbow.
He didn't lead out. He didn't lead out.
I don't know.
He didn't lead out.
Good call, but I mean,
if you see Vince Carter dunk on Lonzo Mourning in Miami, that dunk the same way. Hands the same way.
Also an offensive foul.
Wasn't an offensive foul. Wasn't an offensive foul. I'm up here with non-basketball players, y'all. I'm up here with non-hoopers.
Let's check out the best G League poster of the night. Paul Watson Jr. dunking all over this.
Oh, wow. Steven,
was that a charge?
Yes. No, they called a block. That's an and one.
Thank you.
No, Stack.
That's a charge.
This is a terrible refereeing.
Is that a charge?
Yes. No, that's an offensive foul, Stack.
Oh, my
You know
God.
it, Stack. Come on.
I said charge. Charge is offensive foul. A charge is offensive foul.
You changed your own character. We're supposed to be
No,
doing
that's a block. You know why? Because he went for the weak side, tried to take that weak side charge
outside the paint.
instead of going up to contest.
I like the 905 Raptors.
All right, on to the best full court pass of the night. Knicks guy, Nikola Jokic with the dime.
That's impressive.
John Elway will probably sign this guy to a contract.
And that's the same guy right there that went for that pass, took the steal, that got dunked on. So he made 2 bonehead plays that game.
He does have a lot of the characteristics, Jenna, it's a good point, that John Elway likes in his quarterbacks. He lives in Denver.
Yep.
He's tall.
Yep.
He's not a good quarterback. These are the things that John Elway is typically checked for.
Set him up.
Wow.
Not athletic at all.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Best acting of the night with BYU senior Zach Sellius.
Stack, you love this.
Selling The flop.
That's what you do when you're not talented.
Sell it?
Yeah, you sell stuff
it.
like that to be involved. Don't be like Tony Snell and play 27 minutes and have zeros all on your score sheet.
Tony Snell.
Tony Snell was getting astray. That looks just like what my guy CP3 did against Boogie. Remember that when they're coming up court and Boogie's not even close to him and CP3 looks like he got shot? Yeah, I mean, come on, BYU.
CP3 probably started that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to take a break. So much more to come here on First Things First.
Oh.
The proverbial ball now in Brady's court. Will he turn his back on the Patriots? That's next on FS1. You can always check us out on the Fox Sports channel. That's what the word says.
I know, but you almost like do it to hurt my feelings on purpose. We're going
We'll be right back. Got to be a man.